Thank you for your question. So this is a great one that many people do wonder about. So let's get into the details and answer this together. So you want to know how you would establish product allocation plans for more than 100 stores. So allocation, replenishment, and all of that good stuff is something that even the largest retailers struggle with and even get wrong many times. And this is because when you are dealing with so many stores, it can be difficult to get the right product to the right store and all the way to the right customer at the time that you need it. So you will end up with sold out in places with high demand and overstocked in places that generally does not need that item. So I will give you 4 steps on how you establish the correct allocation plan. Step 1, you would create cluster stores and you would group your stores based on performance, not by geography. So, for example, you would create 3 tiers, and that would be high volume stores, mid volume stores, and low volume stores. And that would obviously be your high volume stores having the most items, selling at higher volumes, all the way to your lower volume stores selling less. But another approach could be that your high performance stores aren't necessarily the stores that are selling higher volume. And this would be where you have luxury branches that have high ticket sales and they are selling more in terms of cash value, but they aren't necessarily selling a lot of units. So you would cluster these types of stores in terms of high value, mid value, and low value. Either way, your cash value should always be the performance metrics that you are clustering your stores in. Step 2, use sales history, not your instincts. So historic sales is the most reliable prediction of future sales. So you would always use your historic sales to create your allocation plan for your store. And that would be what sold very well last season that we can implement into this season. That is how you would go along with that. Step 3, build a base and flex model. So you should always allocate a base quantity, which is your standard amount that every store gets. And then you would create a flex layer on top of that. And that would be for top performing stores, which is an additional amount of units, which is calculated on your rate of sale. So you can check out my Retail Math 101 video for how to calculate these formulas. But when you calculate your rate of sale, you will know how much to put into your flex layer to add as an additional top up to your best performing stores. This is what's known as top ups or add-ons. This is the best way to avoid being sold out in places where there is higher demand and to reduce the risk of being overstocked in areas where items aren't selling as fast. Lastly, step 4, protect the risk. You always hold back stock for rebuys and you hold back stock for fast sellers and also to fix mistakes. This is known as replenishment. So if you allocated 100% of the stock all on day 1, you've already lost control. So this is how you protect that risk. So there you have it. This is how to establish an allocation plan for 100 plus stores. This would be something that buyers and merchandisers do at scale, and in your larger retailers, there would be specific roles dedicated to this exact action of allocation, typically known as an allocator, although buyers and merchandisers will still set the frameworks to be followed. For more detail on topics like this, download all of my templates in the link below. And as always, comment any questions for more buying and merchandising insights that you would like to know more detail on.